in a war, anything can happen. You're an expert on EMP attacks. Tell us what could happen in this area.
All right, just a quick primer on EMP. EMP is shorthand for electromagnetic pulse. It's generated by detonating a small nuclear warhead 200 miles above the Earth's atmosphere, which then sets up an electrostatic discharge, cascades down to the Earth's surface, overloads our electrical grid, blows it all out. Now, if there was ever an attack on mainland United States, 2 to 3 small EMP weapons, if detonated, could basically shut down the United States electrical grid for months, even years. 2 congressional studies have shown the casualty rate could go as high as 90% dying within the first year. I think the odds of an EMP attack on Taiwan are lower because it's so close to the coast of China, and there would be a spillover effect on cities on the Chinese coast. I'm not so sure about EMP, therefore, in a Taiwan situation.
Now, does China have the capability to do this to the U.S. for EMP attack?
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't mean to cut you off quickly, but that is a big concern. Any nation that possesses nuclear weapons has the capacity, if they can have launch systems, rockets, to, of course, set off an EMP. China has been aggressively researching this. A lot of reports on this, of China aggressively researching EMP strikes.
Now, you mentioned 90% of Americans could be impacted. Are we talking about 90% of Americans in the whole country, or just in the area of the weapon?
Okay. Picture what happens is if you detonate a weapon 200 miles up, the footprint, in other words, the line of sight, would cover the entire eastern United States, 3 weapons, the entire United States. So it would be cataclysmic. We're talking about 90% dying because if you shut down the grid, electricity is the basic fundamental of any modern society. What happens then? You lose water. Where would you get your, okay, let me ask you a question. You live in Manhattan, right? Or nearby?
I do.
Let's say New York City was EMP'd. Where would you get your water a day from now? Where would you get your food a week from now? All of these things together add up to disaster.
What happened to the American society in your book?
What happens to the American society is it disappears, and society itself will get thrown back hundreds of years. No electricity, no modern society.
Wow. And how vulnerable is the U.S. Infrastructure to this kind of attack?
Do you want to get depressed? It's a frightening scenario.